everybody? Welcome to the third episode of Entering Empires with me, your host with the most, and here we have Patrick here. This guy's everything.
Hello.
I'm going to give him a minute to introduce himself. So, Patrick, who are you? Patrick Sada, who are you, dude?
Who am I? I'm a amateur fighter boxer. I also cut hair on the side, and I'm also working on getting into the RCMP right now. So I do a little bit of everything.
I'm going to burp. Okay.
Do you usually cut those out, or you just leave them in?
I never burp like that. I'll just cut it or I'll keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Keep it all nice.
I think so if anybody doesn't know, Patrick cuts my hair. He hasn't cut it in a minute, so it's getting longer.
Yeah.
But one thing I found dope about him is he cuts hair, but he's mainly a boxer. So I wanted to start with talking about boxing at first, and then we'll ease into some other stuff. So first, I want to ask how you got started boxing, why you started boxing, what interested you, everything like that.
Yeah. So like I started boxing when I was around 8 or 9 or like around 10. Mainly because I was a little shithead growing up. So my dad's buddy was a really high level boxer, 8-time national champion, 2-time Olympic trial medalist. So honestly, I just got thrown to the wolves at a young age.
Yeah. So did your dad force you to do it, or was it like your own kind of thing? You're like, yeah, I kind of want to do it.
It was kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Honestly, he kind of like forced me to do it, but I had no problem doing it.
Yeah, I feel that. When you first wait, how old were you when you started boxing?
Like 8 or 9.
What was your initial kind of like introduction to boxing? Like, did you get your ass kicked and then you're like, oh, I'm not meant for this? Did you kick someone's ass? You're like, yeah, I'm good.
Honestly, for a while it was just kind of to lose weight because I was like a fat child growing up. So yeah, so it honestly started out as like losing weight and just like defending myself.
Yeah. So
and then obviously,
what would you say overall? Where do you plan on taking boxing? Like, how far do you plan on going? What's your short term? So we'll start. What's your short term goals? What do you want to do? Like kind of in the immediate, but then also what are your long term goals?
Yeah, so I would say for like a short term goal is I want to get as much experience as I can in the amateurs, fight the best, beat the best. I'm not really too hung up on titles.
Yo, your background say otherwise, bro. There's like 6 trophies. I'm kidding.
My honestly, I have the same goal other than like going pro is obviously a goal, you know. But my main goal is to kind of just fight the best and beat the best. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to challenge, but I don't just like people fight just to say they could fight, or oh, look at me, I have a nice trophy. I don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
It's more of a me thing instead of like a physical goal.
It's more like like you're challenging yourself, kind of.
Yeah.
Like a disciplinary outlet in a sense.
Like my biggest question is, how good can I get at boxing? Not like let's win this belt or stuff. Like I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about money. I don't like how good can I be at boxing?
Yeah. What would you say? Well, I don't know if you're in like say names, but overall, who do you think's your scariest opponent that you've ever faced boxing? What's your current record? How many fights have you fought?
I have like about 30 amateur fights. I think it's like 20 and 10, something like that. It's got to be like around there. We don't really like, because amateur is different from the pros. Pros is like it's a very, very big deal, the record. When amateur is you're just showing up random weekend, you're fighting the next day. So, you know, I think I had like 6 fights in 1 month.
So what?
Like last year. Yeah, I know. Like I was very, very busy last year. But it's the scariest opponent. I wouldn't say like an opponent has scared me. I'm nervous before every fight. Any fighter who isn't nervous is
Yeah.
definitely got like some mental issues, probably.
Or they're lying, bro. Or they're lying. To be
Yeah,
honest.
they're 100% lying. 100% lying. But I would say like, I had two fights with this guy. He actually ended up placing second at nationals. He got the silver medal at nationals, and I fought him twice, and I went to war with him twice. I beat him twice, but yeah, like it was a war. Like everyone was screaming. Everyone just loved watching us fight.
What would you
It
say?
was always like
For fights like that where you're kind of like super what do I say, like you're not, I wouldn't say anxious because that's kind of like a belittling word, but like you're kind of nervous, you're kind of like, you know what I mean, you're not really feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to get yourself in that headspace to go to say, you know, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna smoke this guy, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do?
Honestly, it's kind of like I know in the back of my head, like because I'm pretty religious, I know in the back of my head like this is the plan that God has for me. So I could be nervous, all that, but as soon as I start warming up, it's like all my nerves are out. I'm not nervous, I'm ready to go. And also in the back of my head, I know that I have God, so I'm not scared of anything.
I feel like a lot of the time too, it's like your body figures out there's no need for being like nervous or scared about it. It's gonna make it harder. So your mind and your body kind of both come together and go, all right, we're just not gonna be scared about this. There's no point.
Yeah, and you kind of accept it. Like you accept like the worst possible like outcome. You accept it, and you're kind of just like, whatever, let's do it. You know, let's go win.
Yeah. Where would you place boxing on the overall, I guess, tier list of martial arts? Like great great martial arts like jiu-jitsu or wrestling or kickboxing.
Might be biased, but I do think boxing is the best.
Do you find it better than Muay Thai and kickboxing, or do you place it all kind of?
I find Muay Thai very, very entertaining. But like you could see it right now. Like the top Muay Thai guys, they're getting smashed by good boxers. Like guys that started boxing and then transitioned into Muay Thai and learned that art, but they're just like a dominant pressure boxer, putting their combos together, mixing it up with their kicks, and they're just beating all these top Muay Thai guys.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of fighters like Alexa Grasso and Tracy Cortez, like just the greats, just the best fighters.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tracy Cortez too.
Yeah. Who? In terms of, okay, so let's do a small tier list. Okay, we'll go top 5. We have.
Okay.
But you have, I guess and I don't mean fighters, bro. I mean martial arts. We're not gonna rank Tracy Cortez, bro.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean like in terms of martial arts. So you have number 1 boxing. Where do you place 2, 3, 4, 5?
Wrestling too.
Why so high?
Muay Thai. I'm just a fan of wrestling. Like I like watching wrestling. I like seeing
homoerotic and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Muay Thai. I love watching Muay Thai. Muay Thai is literally going to war. Then I would place it like definitely kickboxing. Kickboxing is super fun to watch. And don't get me wrong. I like what the Russians are doing. I'm gonna put car jiu-jitsu at 5. Car jiu-jitsu at 5.
What's the reason for normal jiu-jitsu not being high on that list?
I like jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah. You talk about it a lot, right? So it's just like.
yeah. I like jiu-jitsu. You know, when our buddy Adrian fights or goes into like a match, I'll be there. I'll be supporting him. It's just a lot of the time. It's don't quote me. I've never done jiu-jitsu, but I find it kind of a little slow pace.
Yeah.
Like yes, at times it could be a little slow pace when like boxing, Muay Thai. It's like very fast paced at times.
I find with jiu-jitsu, I'm not gonna lie, what I've trained jiu-jitsu for, so like 9 months almost. Like a kid could have came out by the time the whole time I've been doing jiu-jitsu. But
Yeah.
I find honestly I still can't watch a match. It's so boring. It's so boring. Like it's so much fun to do. Honestly,
don't quote me because I'm biased. Like I'm biased. Like,
oh no, bro! I don't think anyone likes watching it. I'm serious, bro. It is a complete. It's to actually do the sport and to actually like, I guess roll or actually do jiu-jitsu is 25 times more fun than to watch it. I can't watch it. I can easily.
Yeah, 100%.
I can easily.
100%. And I'm not totally against like, one day, starting jiu-jitsu. I'm not against that. I think it would actually be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. What's your current street fight record?
Honestly, I don't know. I've gone to a couple in high school, but I kind of just avoid street fights.
Do you think you could beat me in a street fight?
I'm 260 though. I'm 260.
I'm 170 though, brother.
Come on, brother.
All right, we'll circle back around to something you were saying earlier. Prior to fights, you tap into that religious background, you get that stuff ready.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to ask well, I know, but I guess for the people, what faith do you follow? What section of that faith do you follow? And we'll just start.
I'm a Coptic Orthodox Christian. Ever since I was, I actually started out as, I was baptized in the Catholic Church, and then as I grew up, my family and I converted to Coptic Orthodox.
Were you infant baptized Catholic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you say, well, I guess first I'll go in at why your parents converted, and then I'll ask why you had a conversion of the heart, because I know you talk about it a lot. So first, why did your parents decide to switch from the Catholic Church?
Honestly, I don't know why it started with my mom, so I have no idea really why she converted. But one day, she got into I wouldn't say an argument, but a talk, and she ended up converting. But for the longest time, I was, I said I believed in God, but I didn't, you know what I mean? I knew him, but I didn't know him. And I had to kind of find that faith myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I was already in the Coptic Church, so I just started researching into the Coptic Church. And yeah, I'm there now.
Yeah, that's the good thing I think about kind of how would you say not because you weren't cradled, your parents converted, but it lets you kind of go. You can go to the liturgy slowly, growing up. If you're like a cradle and you're actually there, and then you can learn what the liturgy is after, and you do your research and you actually find the stuff in it kind of later on. And you're saying you're doing research too. I'm getting pretty well versed in Orthodoxy. I got a little icon.
In your little icon section?
Yeah. But why would you say, I want to hear your perspective on it, why would you say, I guess, why specifically Orthodoxy? Why, when you were doing your research to try to find the faith that was already kind of instilled in you, when you went to search for that, why did you end up staying Orthodox instead of going to, Protestant or Catholic Church?
My main thing is Orthodoxy is unchanged. It's the most preserved. I think it's the true Church of Jesus Christ. I don't think a man like the Pope or someone is above anyone else. If you look at Orthodox patriarchs, the way they communicate with you, it's we're all the same. We're all sinners. No one's above us. No one's better than us. And we help each other instead of us treating one man like a celebrity and not worship. We wouldn't say worship him, but kind of hold him higher to everyone else when he's the sinner as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
And we kind of see that too with the original during the schism, why the Orthodox and the Catholic split was because there was some type of in a strange way a feeling that the Bishop of Rome was above everybody else, and he could he was the first among equals, they were referring to him, but in the sense that he wasn't infallible and he wasn't some kind of like.
Yeah, like he couldn't like sin intentionally or something like that. But honestly, you hear like so much crazy stuff about the Vatican Church.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into
Oh
it
yeah,
because
well
I
we
don't
know
know.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, I love my Catholic brothers.
Yeah.
I even love my Protestant brothers. I love everyone. You know what I mean? I have no problem with anyone.
That's what I'm really starting to realize.
Like we can only, like us as Orthodox, we can only be ourselves, and then they see us and be motivated, and like, oh, well, how is he like this, or why is he like this? And then once their interest like rises, it's different. Instead of like, you know me, I don't like to debate. I don't like to.
Oh, you came close.
I could debate. What's up?
You came close at one time, man, with that group chat.
I did, but that's just because I was like
hungry.
It isn't for me. It isn't for me. And my thing isn't to kind of got you there type of debate. You know what I mean? Like my thing is, if you're really interested in finding the truth and you know, changing as a person instead of just trying to catch me stumble or me catch you stumble, then of course, you know what I mean? Of course we can have a discussion, of course. But for us to have a talk and you know, try to make me prove me wrong or try to prove you wrong, I don't think it's it's what we're made for. I don't think we're intended to do that. It says in the Bible too. You know, just talking leads nowhere.
Yeah,
it's foolish.
I do realize too. After doing a few debates, what I kind of realize is there's no point in debating someone unless there's people watching on the fence. Because
100%.
0 point, because I'm realizing no matter how many gotchas you get on somebody, or how many, you know, like how many times you can prove their position wrong, it's a changing of the heart that's needed. So they're not gonna change their position from what you say, whatever you say. It's only people watching on the fence that are even willing to hear you out and switch your position if you win or lose, or
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. And I do see guys like Sam Shamoon or God Logic or Cliff, and I do think those guys, like, I thank them, you know what I mean? Like, they help a lot of people that are on the fence, but I think people are kind of blessed with that gift. I think people have different gifts, and if your gift is to lead people closer to God, then of course, you know what I mean? But also, like, debating it's like, for me, I kind of look at it like you're not really trying to learn. You're just trying to, like, catch me and like messing up on my words, and you know, it'll often lead to like anger and, you know,
that's
more fighting.
If it's a one-on-one argument with somebody, it's at that point it's one of the most immoral things you can do because they're yelling for no reason. But if it's a discussion or debate with people watching, it's almost the most immoral thing you can do. In a sense,
yeah, 100%.
Like, just the audience alone will either make it something morally completely good or morally completely bad, just depending on who's watching. That's also
How do you find the Orthodox faith? Because you recently converted.
Yeah, so I don't know. I started touching up on research in about like December. I attended a few services at like a Protestant church. A Protestant church. He's smiling. I'm wondering why. At a Protestant church, and then I ended up stepping into like a ethnic Macedonian Orthodox. It was actually amazing. Like great instance, great people.
That's the one I told you, right?
Yeah. Because I was asking if I could go with him to his, and then he's like, no, they only speak Arabic. So I'm like, he gave me
Arabic and English.
Yeah, Arabic and English. And he told me, he's like, no, but if you want to go to one that I think speaks English, he sent me a Macedonian one. I went to the Macedonian one, and they only spoke basically Macedonian, a little bit of English. So it's like, but I ended up staying there for a few months. Then I started going to an English one, which is the one I go to now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
What did you go to?
St. Maria's.
St. Maria's on Fennel?
Yes, sir.
It's the Greek one, right?
No, it's OCA. So American, basically.
Oh,
So
nice.
fully English. The Greek one's really nice looking too, though. It looks so good on the inside. The Greek one is.
The one on Fennel, yeah, that one's nice. My mom went to that one.
Yeah, but for
What do you find the difference between like the churches, like why Orthodoxy?
Yeah, so it's actually good you asked me, because I was gonna ask you, but now we can just both cover it there. So that's perfect. You like you said earlier, you find some type of unchangedness in Orthodoxy. Like even R2, you're Oriental, I'm Eastern, yet we still have basically the exact same liturgy. You know what I mean?
Same thing.
That the Catholics don't have, that the obviously the Protestants don't have. But the thing is I don't think it's a big thing that Protestants disagree with that, or Catholics disagree with that. I think they like to put a position that it's good to have innovation like that. It's good. These things are inherently good. That's the only difference. But to be quite honest, like, to be honest, the Catholic position is interesting. Like, it did intrigue me for a little while, but there is just some things that I can't really like, things that aren't even like papal related, which obviously I reject the papacy because I'm Orthodox, obviously. But just in terms of like, they don't have like an essence energy distinction, so they claim that you can fully know God with your brain. That's not something we hold at all. Me or you hold. You cannot understand the actual essence of.
You can't understand it fully.
Exactly. You can perceive the energy. So it's different, and that's something I liked. I didn't even think about Protestantism really, to be honest, for that long. I don't see any. And the thing is, the only issue with Protestants, all of them don't agree on really anything. Like, they all can commune with each other. The main thing is that they don't even really have communion. You know what I mean? That's the problem. They don't have the body and blood. They don't recognize it as being the true body and blood. It's everything. Honestly, every single thing is probably the reason. I also find, I just find inconsistencies historically with the Protestant church, and as of recently, honestly, well, the Protestant churches, and then recently the Catholic Church. I've kind of been looking into like early church fathers, and I don't think the papacy ever was taught, to be honest.
One thing I do notice about like the Protestant church is they kind of, like, a good thing is they kind of bring everyone like close. I find like people who are like secular and agnostic, they bring them to Christ. So I kind of thank Protestants for that, because a lot of people that are secular and people that have a change of heart, they usually go to Protestant first, and then they either go to Catholicism or Orthodoxy. So I do think that like Protestantism is important, but just like their beliefs as well, like it's different than the Orthodox or the Catholic, and it's for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I agree. I also think I think the thing is, a big problem with modern Protestantism is like, if you go to like a high Lutheran church, it's actually pretty in line with what me and you believe in terms of like liturgical and stuff. You go to like a low like Baptist church, it's completely different. And the thing is, it's always getting worse and worse and more progressive. So it's gonna get to a point where it's really not what it's supposed to be. And we see this now, that 70% of people in low church Protestantism are women. So it's appealing to women, and that's not, unfortunately it can't sustain itself like that if it's just going to be completely women. So there's nothing, even if you look at the way the worship style is, it's this like, what is, so we have this term like born again, right, where we'll have like a convict or like a felon or something completely change his life around and go to and start becoming a Christian. The thing is, though, is in order to do that, if you're going to go into modern day Protestantism, you have to feminize yourself. And I think there's a problem with correlating, correlating like born again experiences and becoming a better person with feminizing yourself, because that's all these like instruments and like videos and like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying when I'm talking about Protestant churches, like it's
like not, the mega churches.
The mega churches, but the thing is, it leaks down to normal Protestant churches nowadays. It's just how it is. Yeah. So there's nothing that
One thing I'm really against, and I'll say it, it's women pastors. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I don't think women are meant to be deacons, pastors, priests, and we're seeing that a lot now. And it usually starts with the Protestant church. It usually starts with the Protestant church, and I don't agree with that whatsoever.
The thing is, I was having a discussion at my church the other day about deaconesses, where there's the Constantinople Patriarch allowed a deaconess, because there used to be deaconesses a long time ago in the church, but their role was to baptize women when people had to be baptized naked, and to bring communion to people in hospitals. So if let's say hypothetically, the Orthodox Church introduced some type of thing like that with deaconesses, where all they're doing is handing out to people in they're going to like hospitals giving communion, or they're baptizing women. Like, I have no problem with that. The only problem is that with Protestantism we have them doing things that the Bible doesn't teach. Funny enough, if you're a Protestant, you have to accept sola scriptura, and then you're here doing something completely non-biblical, and then it's like, okay, well, what are we? It's weird. It's contradictory completely. So I don't really.
100%. 100%. I think the biggest problem with Protestantism is once saved, always saved.
Yeah.
So once you're saved, you can go back to living a secular life and living in sin. And if I claim Jesus Christ my Lord and Savior, then I'm saved. And I think that's completely wrong.
They hold the fact that if you go back to doing bad stuff, you were never saved in the first place. So why do we even have that? You know, it's such a silly doctrine. It's like, why do we not just admit that we have to work out our salvation with fear and trembling? They also hold that not only with the once saved, always saved, they hold that you can be assured of your salvation. Assured. 100% no. And the problem with that is I've seen someone talk about this, so this isn't completely my idea, but I agree with it. You can have a moral certainty, like, yeah, I will, but you can never, ever have an absolute certainty, because you don't know God and you're not God. That's kind of the way I see that.
Well, as we see in the book of James, is faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
Just to touch base on that, I'm Orthodox. Yeah, I'm a deacon. Yeah, I do liturgy. I help with the liturgy as a deacon. I take the communion, the Eucharist. I don't know if I'm gonna be saved. You know, that's just not for me to know.
Exactly.
I just have to try my best to be saved.
Yeah, exactly. And we also see an abandonment of monasticism in like monks and monkhood in the Protestant and even the Catholic tradition. They don't really have monks anymore. And I think that's kind of, I don't think it's the direct reason, obviously, but I think it's symbolic of, or in relation to the kind of the allowance of modern institutions to leak their way into the church. Like the reason why they've kind of taken away monasticism. Actually, I would like to go to a monastery one day for a few days.
We have them. We have one in Canada that I've been to a long time ago, but it's a Coptic one. And man, it's nice.
Yeah, I've seen.
Nice.
There's this one over in Buffalo. Well, not Buffalo, but New York area called Jordanville that I'm planning on visiting for a few days. But that one is pretty. It's pretty cheap stuff, and you go there and you just kind of learn from the monks. You work with the monks, and you kind of like come to understand that life. And the way that it's the best thing I think about the monasticism is the way it leaks down to the rest of the church, where you always have not the way that I guess the Protestants would say, oh, you worship the monks. No. You have this role model to look at all times, that you're constantly not chasing in that direct way, because to be a monastic you can't be married. You have to take the vow of celibacy, and you have to you know. And a lot of people aren't ready for that. I'm not ready for that, and I never want that. But it's cool to see it's almost like, I know it's funny to relate it to, but you know David Goggins, right?
Yeah.
This guy David, everyone's like, it makes no sense why he's doing all that. He's doing it for you. He's not doing it for him. He's doing it so you can look at somebody when you're on that jog on a smaller scale and go, there's someone who did this, so I can do that, type thing. It's a role model thing, right? And I know the monks aren't necessarily there to be role models, but that's the place that they're in, right? They are role models, and they are good role models. So it's kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's like the hardest thing to do, is to give up everything and just dedicate yourself to one thing. Like, I think that's honestly the hardest thing. I've thought about it before. I've thought about it before, but it's just kind of like a plan B type of thing.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
definitely. I think a lot of people have thought about it honestly, and I
Yeah.
think it's good that with orthodoxy that door's always open. You know, that's somewhere you could always go. You don't have that with
Mm-hmm.
modern Protestantism or obviously
Mm-hmm.
Catholicism. But yeah, just to circle back around, I want to talk with RCMP stuff. I want to see what you're thinking with RCMP stuff. What gave you the idea and where you're planning on going with that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, let it out.
All right, yeah. So just, first, let's just talk real quick how you kind of got into that idea of maybe joining the RCMP and kind of your transition from policing to what you may be doing in the RCMP.
So I started policing. And not only has it been like a childhood job that I've wanted, I kind of found myself outside of high school, like, don't know what to do. So I enrolled in police foundations. And I did the first year, and I liked it. I really liked it. And then the next year, COVID hit, and I was like, "Fuck this," and I dropped out. And then I had a buddy, uh, Josh O'Reilly, who's a professional boxer, ranked number 7 in the world, 18-1, and a good role model. You know, I can really talk to him about stuff, and he got in as a police officer, and this was when policing was like completely out of my mind, and just like I didn't care for it. Um, Me and him started to talk about it, and I was like, "Wow, this job sounds really cool." And then so we started talking about like your qualifications to get in. He was telling me like, "Listen, man, you're very athletic. Um, you're a fighter, so you know how to operate under an immense amount of pressure, immense amount of stress. You know how to think clear. Um, you're trilingual. Uh,
Do you speak French?
the, no,
Aramaic, Arabic, and English. Yeah.
yeah. And he said, they like it shouldn't be hard for you to get in. It shouldn't be hard for you to get in. So I was like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. If I get in, I get in. So me being like a cocky 21-year-old, 21-year-old. This was last year. I was like, whatever. I'm like a fighter. I'm gonna go apply. So they actually wanted me, and they sent me to do their fit pit. It's kind of like a physical assessment. I was like super cocky, and I went, and I smashed it. And I was like, yeah, they're gonna hire me now. Being super cocky, they gave me the second interview, and they're like, listen, man, like, you're very athletic, you're this, you're that, but you have no life experience. And that was like the most humbling thing in the world.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, like, you're good and you know how to like fight and you're good athletic and this and that. They're like, but you don't have like any other life experience except that. Like they're asking me like, what do you do outside of, cutting hair and fighting? And I was just kind of like sitting there like, no idea. So that was humbling to the point where I went back to school, finished police foundations. I actually got the award for best male runner 2024, and I actually represented Mohawk College at a challenge. And so now I'm just kind of applying, trying to get in. But circling back to why you said, why the RCMP? I just I have a lot of respect for the RCMP. RCMP is a very high level, very cutthroat policing sec. So, it's been pretty fun. I'm going through the process right now. And yeah, I'm just whatever's ahead of me. I'm excited.
Perfect.
I'm excited. I'm ready.
And we're talking about police, and a recent event happened about police, and I think we have to talk about that considering it's 3 days after. What do we think about Donald Trump's assassination attempt?
I saw someone like say it was staged.
Yeah.
It's that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like that is like by far the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. I watched a video of like an experienced shooter at a gun range, and like we're talking about an experienced high-level shooter, and it had the shooter had outliers on the board. Outliers. Not every shot was perfect.
Yeah.
And a gun range is usually 25 meters. So you're talking about 150 meters.
Yeah.
You got the best shooter in the world just to nick the ear, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's impossible.
Kid was a bad shot for sure.
Yeah, kid had a bad shot.
Yeah, he was not.
But I think this just solidified his presidency. I think
yeah.
Like, how do you not vote for him now?
No,
he
yeah,
walked out to
yeah.
He walked out to Minimen by 50 Cent.
No, bro, that's fake video.
How do you not?
Cause I watched the.
No, he walked out to.
No, it's fake, bro. I promise.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
no
bro.
Way.
You walked to some like normal like Republican song, like some country song or something. He walked out.
Oh,
bro.
Imagine he walked that.
That would be nuts, bro. He just picked his VP. You see that?
Yeah, I did. He's like some younger guy. I didn't really
some younger
like
dude.
look too well into it.
Yeah, he's pretty. I don't know. He's relatively alright. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I can't. I was about to say I'm not personally voting, but I don't even live in a country, bro, so I can't.
I do hope he does win. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
He did say he would make becoming an American citizen a lot easier for Canadians, people who were born in Canada.
Did he?
Yeah, so I think that'll be pretty cool, you know.
Do you have any plans to move to the States ever?
I would like to move to like Florida or Texas or Arizona.
Yeah.
It's just nice to live there, man. It's nice, a lot cheaper. It's very expensive to live in Canada right now. Like it's just ridiculous to live here. So
I kind of plan.
You know why not?
I kind of plan on relocating to Texas in the next probably 2-3 years. So.
2-3 years, nice.
Yeah. Now that I was kind of worried about how long the citizenship process would take, but if he's gonna make it easier.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully he wins.
Hopefully, bro. We don't know though. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Biden won. Like,
I would be surprised. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I would be surprised if Joe Biden is the representative. To be honest, I don't think he's gonna make it to November.
Well, didn't last election he had like supposedly
the most votes ever.
The most votes ever in any election. Like, he had people come back to life and vote for him and then go back to the grave. Yeah,
because people are saying he's a necromancer, right? I've heard some rumors that apparently he does necromancy. And so what he did is he revived them, they voted for him at the polls, and then he brought them back. Yeah. This is just a rumor, though. This is what my people are telling me, that's all.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, don't quote us. We don't know anything.
I don't know if he uses black magic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah. Alright, so that should be good. That should end us off here. That was a dope episode.
Yeah, that was sick. Colin, thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro, no problem. Anytime. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and follow the Instagram, follow the Facebook, follow him at Drop Your Stuff.
My business account is PB Cuts. My personal is PB Sada. Hit me up.
Let's get it. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys in episode 4. Peace out.